Good afternoon, everybody. I just gave Melody and Deborah some grassy lucerne, and the sad part is it looks greener than my grass at the moment. So dry. I mean, I've got some green patches, but overall the paddock's looking pretty sad. It's very dry, very dry. Not as bad as it is in other farms in Queensland at the moment, by any stretch of the imagination. I have been very blessed where we are, but I'm really looking forward to the rain that we're supposed to be getting on the weekend. Hopefully it helps to revitalise. Oh dear, the girls are arguing. But yeah, just thought I'd give you a bit of an update. But the paddock's looking pretty sad. I'm really looking forward to what it's going to be like in 5 years' time, with how much soil improvement I'm able to do with the chickens and the green manure crops, and the just having more trees growing around the place for more shade for the animals and for the paddock. But yeah, just a little bit of shade makes a huge difference. There are spots on the paddocks where you can see that there's bin shade, and it's made a dramatic difference to the quality of the grass, which will in turn make a huge difference to the quality of the animals that I'm able to raise. So yeah, at the moment the paddocks are looking really dry. Well, we are at the end of winter, so it is our dry season, just finishing up. And we're still doing pretty good. One of our water tanks is empty, but the other one's still about 70%, so we're doing okay. Certainly not complaining. Not really. We're blessed in comparison to where most other people are at. My 8-week-old chicks are doing very nicely. Happy little chickies. Happy chickies. They're loving scratching around in the grass, having lots of space to scratch around in. They're all doing quite well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. We're actually planning on getting a scythe. I've got to get in here and weed out all these fireweeds. They're really bad for the animals, especially Spot. Speaking of Spot, who just mooed, she's over there. My little spotty Spot. Here's my Spot, who hopefully has got a bull coming soon. Hopefully on the weekend somebody's going to be bringing a bull over for me. He's going to be our new stud for the herd. Sorry about that, that was bad lighting, wasn't it? So Miss Spotty is going to have a new husband. Well, not a husband, but she's going to have herself our new bull. She's going to be very happy. At the moment she's got some goats in there keeping her company until their owners come and get them. That was next door's cows, not mine. There's Miss Spotty. There's my Spot. She was getting all excited this morning. And it turns out one of the 11 wethers that we bought was not a wether, it was a girl. So we have a new female in the herd. I just got to move her out of the paddock with Spot into the paddock with Ranger and the rest of the girls. Well, I found out she was a girl because Ranger decided to go chase her around the paddock. She wasn't very impressed. She obviously wasn't in heat at the time. I think she's actually the one that's got her backside to us right next to Spot at the moment. Not positive. I get her mixed up with the other one that's nearer. But yeah, everything's going reasonably well. I should water that raspberry and the mulberry tree. I might do that while I'm down here actually. It's a bit of a time consuming process watering things at the moment. I don't have my hoses out in the paddocks, so I'm having to bucket water. Just time consuming, but good exercise. Who needs to go to the gym? I certainly don't. So yes, I'll fill up my black bucket with water out of my IBCs, which I've filled up from the IBCs up there. I've run pipe hoses from there down to here to fill them up, which makes a massive difference. Makes a huge difference. And I need to do that before the weekend when we get all the rain, so that I've got the IBCs up there ready to collect lots of water, and hopefully we get lots of water. It's supposed to be anywhere between 6 to 25 to 30 mils, so I'm hoping for the 30 mils, but I'll be happy with whatever we get. There, so I've got to give the mulberry tree some water, and the other mulberry tree some water, and the raspberry. Hang on, I'll pause you so you don't have to wait for the water to fill up. So that's my mulberry, elderberry. There is actually some rosemary in there. It was flowering the other day. My self-sown potato, which is doing very well, and some pineapple sage, which is desperately needing some water at the moment, which I'm about to pour that onto it, and the raspberries over there. So I'll just put you down for a minute while I do that. So there's the raspberry. It's not doing half as well as the one in the aquaponics, but they need to be moved. But you can see how dry the soil is up here. So that's the bare stuff where the chickens have scratched it right up when they were up here a couple of months ago. But what I do find interesting is how much greener the grass is up here where the chickens were scratching around. It's had just as little water, but it's so much greener than that other end of the paddock where I was showing you where the goats are at the moment. So I'm just waiting for this to grow a bit more before I bring the goats back up here. It's going to be a while before they transition up here because they've got to meander their way back down the paddock. But yeah, I'm amazed at, like, you can really see the difference between where the chickens have been in the electric fence and where they haven't been. So they were on here a month before the previous one. I shouldn't really leave them on there for a month, but I kind of tend to. But look at there where the chickens haven't spent that much time and how brown it is in comparison to here. It just amazes me. There's a lot much, I guess it's more organic matter in the soil, and the extra fertilizer, but the chickens are making a huge impact on my pastures. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how this is all going to look in 5 years, because it's going to look so different. It's going to be so totally different. But I need to put some more need to get some more IBCs and more Besser bricks. Need to find a good supplier of Besser bricks. If you know a good supplier of Besser bricks, maybe a wholesaler even, I'd really appreciate that. Leave a comment, question or suggestion down below with any good suppliers of Besser bricks in the Logan area in Queensland. I would really appreciate that, because I'm going to need a lot of them. A lot of them. But I mean, this area up here is not doing too badly, and the chickens haven't been. I mean, I moved them in this area here in their mobile coops, so that was a long time ago. But yeah, and this area gets watered from the tree too, because I come in here and I water that periodically. Not as often as I am the new one, but it's getting a little bit of water here and there. It just amazes me that was a stick that I stuck in the aquaponics less than 12 months ago. I'm so pleased with that tree. But yeah, it's these little systems that I've worked out are I'm really pleased with how well that's going, that little section. I'll probably end up doing something different to protect the trees from the animals. It's the time and the energy. So I'm thinking, like over there, which is going to be hard to see because of the sun. Sorry. See if I can block the sun for you. over there, that mango tree just there, I've got pallets around it to protect it from the goats. So I need to do that with all of the other trees around the place that don't have the IBCs around them, just to protect them from the goats, because the goats are happily ring barking my mango trees. They do have some protection around them, but not enough. Not even close to enough. But yeah, things are moving along nicely. I'm pleased with how well things are going. My fences still are not going to cope with Melody. She can jump everything that's not electric, so she's going to have to stay in an electric fence, which isn't tragic. I'm going to set up little paddocks around the place, and now we've got some star pickets. It's now just the time to sort them out, which seems to just be slipping through my fingers, but I'd really like to get it sorted out before spring comes too much, so that I can move the animals around the pastures a lot more, and I can focus more in on this section of the property, and really have the animals working it nicely. I am so pleased with how well the chickens are going in the electric fence. They're not laying many eggs for me, but they're old hens too that I've got in there. So I'm looking forward to the new ones getting a bit older and starting to lay some eggs. I mean, I'm getting eggs at the moment, but I've got people buying fertile eggs at the moment and wanting so that they can hatch them, because I've got roosters and they can't have roosters. And I can't keep up with the demand for it at the moment. So I need to have more chickens laying more eggs. Because I'm really quite passionate about supplying people with chickens so that they can have their own homegrown eggs. Because I can't, legally I'm not supposed to sell my eggs for human consumption. It's okay for incubating them. Don't have to worry about food safety regulations for chicks' eggs that you're going to incubate, because you're not eating them. But yeah, just loving it, loving how everything's working. It's all just coming together. And I'm really pleased. I'm in the process of moving that little section around because I had it facing the wrong direction. They were all facing east, and I'm thinking that having them facing northeast so that the shade for the animals is actually going to be protecting them from the southeasterly winds and the southwesterly winds, which is our predominant winds here. So I want the shelters to be protecting them from those winds, which is the direction I've got those ones facing. So I've got to move those ones so that they're facing in that same direction. But yeah, that's the update for today. Any comments, questions or suggestions? And if you know anyone that's got Besser bricks, wholesaler with Besser bricks, I'm thinking I would actually really like to raise the IBCs up more than just one row of bricks. I'd like to take them up 2 if I can, and just to give me a little bit more pressure on my water. That would be great. Anyway, have a great day. Any comments, questions or suggestions, leave them below. Bye. Bless you.